All right, we'll go ahead and call the Board of Zoning Appeals to order at 5 PM. Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Golis,
Here.
Mr. Andrus,
Here.
Mr. Reed,
Here.
Chairman Rowe.
Here. Can I get approval of the July 24th, 2024 regular meeting minutes?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call.
I'm sorry, who seconded it?
Goes first. Who's second?
Okay, thank you. Mr. Golis?
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Chairman Rowe.
Yes. All right. Before we jump into the variance waiver request, I'll let everybody know this is a board of 5. We have 4 members here tonight. So when I ask for your waiver to be called upon, it's your choice if you decide to keep going with the 4, which you'll need 3 yes votes for your variance to be accepted. Otherwise, your option would be to postpone to next month when we would hope to have a full board. So the other thing, when I state the waiver, just make sure you step up to the podium, state your name, address, and give us a little background on the waiver request, and then also make sure you're signed in as well. So that goes for both anybody here to speak for or against matters as well. With that, we'll go ahead and get started. Our first waiver is W1727-24 waiver, ordinance 269-2001, section 1127.02A, relating to front yard setbacks. Location is 2070 Lakeview Avenue. The applicant owner is Charles Berry. Just make sure you're signed in, and then go ahead and state your name, address, and give us a little background on
Mr.
this.
Chairman, just for disclosure here, I have done work for this applicant. However, it appears that another surveyor is presently has done the site plan for this particular parcel. Should I abstain, or?
I don't think.
I did a survey a couple of years ago for him. Okay,
I think you're
all right. So we'll get that cleared up.
Yeah, hi, my name's Charlie Berry, and I live at 2070 Lakeview Avenue. And all I want to do is I have an existing home there that was built in 1917, so it's 107 years old. And I want to knock that home down and build a new home. And I'd like to keep the same footprint from the road, the setback as it is now, to build my new home. My property is only 80 foot deep, that'd be from like east to west. So it's not very wide. So I don't have much room there to work with. So that's why I like that variance.
All right. Obviously, the existing structure where it's located is pretty consistent along that road.
Yeah, I think it's 15 foot.
Correct. The other, in theory, you could probably knock down the structure and keep foundation and rebuild back up and wouldn't even be here, right? So. All right, questions from the board? Anybody else here to speak for or against the matter? With that, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve W 1727-24 as submitted.
I'll second.
Roll call.
I'm sorry. Okay, Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Golis,
Yes.
Chairman Rowe.
Yes, you're all set. You can follow back up with building and zoning. Thank you. All right, our next waiver is W 1728-24, waiver of ordinance 269-2001, section 1153.02, relating to primary structures. The locations are 2060 LaFrance Street and 2068 LaFrance Street. The applicant owner is William Allen Polson.
Hello, my name is William Allen Polson at 2068 LaFrance Street, and I'm trying to conjoin my lots so I can make 2060 LaFrance Street, a mother-in-law house.
Dave, is it this the one where? All right, how do we want to approach this?
Mr. Chair, it is my understanding that the applicant chooses to utilize the homeowner's exemption in order to work on both properties. Is that correct? Is that why you want to combine them?
Yes, sir. So I can work on the properties myself. It's in desperate need of repair, and if I had to go through contractors, it would be financially troubling.
Okay. So at the initial review, the Building and Zoning Department had no objections to the request, provided that if a family member no longer lives in the second dwelling of the property, then it would need to be split into two again, or one dwelling must be demolished. However, I believe that there may be a second option if you choose to go that route. And I'll let one of the board members explain that
So
second option.
you aren't planning on attaching the two structures, right? You're just wanted to be able to work on your parents' home.
That's correct, sir.
Okay.
It won't be conjoined.
So the split, first combining the properties would have two homes or residences on one property, which isn't permitted by the zoning code, which is why you had to ask for a waiver. But it would allow you then to be able to work on the properties. And I understand what you're trying to do, and I'm all for, being able to work on your own property and helping your parents out, and, as a family member, being able to work on your family member's property. So, and also I applaud you for not doing what a lot of people do and lie, just say that, my parents come in here and they say, yeah, I'm doing the work, but it's actually going to be you helping them. So, as it's going to be very difficult for the city to track if someone, were to sell that house, or pass away or move out or anything like that, to be able to order you to split them back up again. And on top of that, you're gonna have costs associated with combining and splitting the lots. It's not a lot of money, but there is something. So as another solution, I suggested that you withdraw this application and come before the Board of Building Appeals and just request the ability to perform that work on your parents' home. And then you don't have to do anything with your lots. We're just giving you permission to pull permits for that, to do that improvement on that home, so that you as a family member can work on their home, even though you don't own it and you don't reside there.
It was my understanding from building and zoning that I own both lots.
Okay, you own that.
It was my understanding that I would have to conjoin the lot because I'm only allowed one live-in dwelling per plot of land.
Yes.
Currently, I have 2 plots of land. So in order to work on it myself without contractors, I would have to conjoin them, get permission from the board to have 2 live-in dwellings. I'm only asking to renovate it to put a bedroom and a bathroom in that building. Currently,
So,
it's gutted.
So I think that's all. So I think we're still trying to do the same thing. We're just going to go through a different board. So this board is actually the Board of Building Appeals board too, for the city. So it'd still be before this group. It would just be, we put our Board of Building Appeals hat on instead of our Board of Zoning Appeals. So the Board of Building Appeals, and you would basically get the same thing, but what Dave basically saying is you don't have the cost of going and getting lots split and all that sort of thing. So it eliminates that process. It just, you're asking permission to basically work on the second dwelling.
I think it's a cleaner way for you
Correct.
and for the city, and you still get to accomplish what you want to do, is to be able to work on that home. If you own them both, the city code says, yes, you can only work as a contractor on your own home that you own and you live in.
Right.
You don't live in this one, your parents are going to, so that when you come before the Board of Building Appeals, which again is us, you're just gonna say, my parents are gonna live there, I wanna just be able to improve it, so I'm asking for a waiver to be able to pull permits to do that, and then we can grant you that waiver, and you don't have to split lots or combine lots, and then the city doesn't have to track it. They just know you're gonna pull the permits, they'll do the inspections just like normal, and it'll be done.
Okay.
So
I wasn't sure what appeals process it was,
think-
so the secretary kind of just took care of that for me, so I
So-
apologize for the mistake.
No, no,
This is a
no, you did
unique
it
situation for sure, and there are more than one way to get to the point where you wanna be, and I just, after looking at this, and we always think about, if we do this for you, what are the negative consequences from someone else doing it, that maybe, isn't doing it just because it's their family member, but they're doing it because they have a bunch of rental properties and, things like that. So, I think that going the other route is definitely an easier and better way for you, and it's better for the city.
Is there any chance that we're probably too late to try and tag that onto the special meeting on the 11th?
I would have to look into what our public notice would have
All
to
right.
be.
We have another meeting coming up before our next BZA meeting next month. So I was trying to see if we could still get a public notice out and try to get you in sooner than next month's meeting is all. So we got to look into that to see if that's an option.
Thank you, sir.
Is your schedule pretty urgent or?
Only as urgent as my mother makes it.
So pretty urgent.
We understand.
Yes.
If we can get it in and still meet the public notice requirement deadlines, then we can do that. But I think if you would like to go that route, then you would just request to withdraw your application and then reapply as a building, Board of Building Appeals case.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll withdraw.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next waiver is W1729-24, waiver of ordinance 269-2001, section 1127.02A relating to permitted uses. Locations are 2744 Mechanic Street, 2746 Mechanic Street. The applicant owner is Scott Skunda. Did I torture that name? Sorry. Did I
Oh,
say
that
it
was, I think
close?
it's right on.
All right.
Hi, I'm Scott Skunda, reside at 173 Fox Hill Lane in Perrysburg, Ohio. I'm here today to ask for a variance on said properties on Mechanic Street. I was looking to get a 60-foot frontage instead of the 70 that they're asking to be able to build two homes on there. From looking on the website, it appears there's 5 or 6 other houses on that block that have a 60-yard or 60-foot frontage, and was asking for the variance on that today.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know, these look like they were originally platted to be, what,
30
30-foot
feet.
sections, so two of them make one single residence. So. All right, questions from the board? I guess I do have one other, so we have two of these, so we're doing these per lot, is that how that is? Because we do have, on our agenda, it's showing, we have a waiver 1730-24.
There are 2 separate cases because they would like to combine 2 lots and then
Two
combine
lots,
2 lots.
so are we doing this twice?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
You could, if the board chooses, act as one.
Together.
If they choose
All right.
to act as one case, or one decision for both cases.
Okay. I mean, I assume we do that unless somebody has preference one way or the other.
So combining lots isn't the issue, it's the needing a smaller side yard in order to fit the house on the lot.
No, it would be a smaller
It's just
frontage.
Frontage, okay.
The code requires 70 feet for R2, and
Got
these are,
Just for an acceptable lot.
Correct.
these would constitute a 60-foot frontage, which is typical of the neighborhood because this area was platted with 30-foot wide parcels. So in order to comply with the code, he would have to combine 3 lots, and then you would have a 30-foot lot
Correct.
that couldn't be built on. So this is the only way that he could actually build on both combined sets of lots.
All right, any questions from the board?
I think you have to make a motion to combine them, and then you can.
Got it. Everybody hear that? We'll have
No.
to make a motion to combine them and then,
Combine the 2 cases together and then make one ruling.
I'll make a motion to combine.
well, I got it. Anybody else here speak for or against the matter? So go ahead and step up to the podium, make sure you state your name, address, and then make sure you're signed in.
All right. Name's Gilbert Delgado. I live on Mechanic Street. And my question was, is this property got to be for rental purposes or, that's my question here.
So unfortunately, well, we're here for the zoning aspect of that.
Well,
We're here strictly for this frontage, the
Oh, okay.
60 foot, so, we can't ask, I guess, it's not part of the zoning request, so as far as what it gets built. Right now, we're just approving instead of 70-foot frontage, 60-foot frontage. But as far as what gets built in there, that's not this board. That would go through the Board of Zoning Appeals, our Board of Zoning, making sure that complies with.
Well, can I ask him? I mean,
Yeah.
is that going to be for rental purposes or?
No, I'm building a home for myself and maybe
Okay.
another one potentially to sell.
Okay, oh yeah, because we weren't sure. We just didn't want to have started having rentals and
No,
Yeah.
that's not the plan. I'm not doing that.
we were not sure. So my neighbor and I were talking about this. Well, let's find out, see what's going on. So,
Plan on moving in there.
well, do you? So we'll be neighbors then.
All right, anybody else here to speak for or against the matter? All right, now I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to combine W1729-24 and W1730-24.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Golis.
Yes.
Chairman Rowe.
Yes. All right, you're all set. You can follow
Do
back.
we have to make a motion?
That was just to combine cases.
That was just
Oh.
to combine cases, so we still have to make a motion, right?
Yes.
You're right.
Go ahead again.
Should have rolled it all in one.
Just go ahead. Keep going.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the newly combined 1729-24 and 1730-24 to approve as submitted.
And I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Andrus,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Golis.
Yes.
Chairman Rowe.
Yes. Now you're all set to follow back up with building and zoning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we will adjourn the meeting at 5:19. Thank you.